In this discussion of the Indian Evidence Act, we'll take up a couple of basic concepts and discuss them. Now, these concepts are so basic that you would need them throughout the entire Evidence Act. Alright? Say the word fact. Section 3, that's a technical thing though, is the interpretation clause which explains what a fact is. F-A-C-T, fact. Simply put, anything or things, state of things or relation of things which can be perceived by the senses is called a fact. I mean, in our daily life you see a lot of things, isn't it? So if the things are in a particular order, the state of things, or there's a relation between the things which can be perceived by the senses, it is called a fact. Fact also means and includes any mental condition of which you're conscious about. Let me put an example to it. The bookish example. So, your opinion is a mental condition. Your reputation, all right? Your thoughts, all these, that you act in good faith, these are facts. You see something, all right? You see what? Some things or a thing, all right? Which you understand or perceive because of your sense of sight, correct? It becomes a fact. You hear something. So whatever you hear, you perceive by your senses. It becomes a fact. So that is the concept of fact. The concept is so important because as we go to the next part of it, you understand how deep it is. The next part would involve fact and issue and issues of fact. We have heard about it. We know it. But to unbox it, we need to make it easy. The bookish language is fact and issue means and includes any fact from which, either by itself or in connection with other facts, the existence, non-existence, extent or nature of any right, liability or disability asserted or denied in a judicial proceeding necessarily follows. I never understood it that way. No one can ever understand it that way. Let's make it simpler way to understand. There's always simpler ways to understand critical things. Break it into units, get the concept, unbox it. Right? Let's try. So, in law, what do we understand by the word issue? It means that any point which is asserted by one party and denied by the other party, it means the parties are at issue on that point. All right? That point is a fact. I'll explain it. Suppose Mr. X says that a plot of land is his and Y is trying to push him away. On the other hand, Y says, no, the plot of land is mine. X is falsely claiming it. So X and Y are at issue on the ownership of their plot of land. Correct? You understand that? When the court of law would decide it, it has to first record that issue. This is called issues of fact. So court would record issues of fact. Got it? Those facts on which the parties are at issue, it is asserted by one and denied by the other, are called issues of fact. So the court has done its part. It has recorded the issues of fact. Now, either party must lead evidence. X must lead evidence, Y also must lead evidence to assert his claim and deny the claim of the other. Y also would do the same, X also would do the same. So these facts which are brought in evidence by the parties to a proceeding to assert or deny the issue of fact, that is the principal fact, the main fact, are called fact and issue. So fact and issue are brought in by way of evidence by the parties to a proceeding to assert or deny the issues of fact. The issue of fact is that fact which is asserted by one and denied by the other. So we understand the concept of it, right? Now again, there's a concept of called a document. What is a document? Under the Indian Evidence Act, we don't mean a page or a paper to understand what's a document. Document are the expressions. It's a matter which is expressed or described on a substance. It is a matter. Stress on the word matter. Document means a matter which is expressed or described on a substance. So whatever matter is expressed or described on any substance is a document. Now how is it expressed? By letters, figures, or marks. The basic concept. It's not a page or a paper. So whenever any matter is described or expressed on any substance by way of letters, figures, or marks, it is called a document. So forget about the concept that a page or a document, a page would be a document. It is also a document, but the concept under the Indian evidence means any matter which is expressed or described on any substance. It may not be a page, it may be any substance by way of letters, figures, or marks. Now, so far as evidence is concerned, the Indian evidence says that if the evidence may be oral or documentary. What are oral? The statements made by witnesses required or permitted by the court of law to facts concerning judicial proceeding. Now, if you don't understand the concept of fact, you don't understand anything at all as to oral evidence. They are statements of facts. Now we know what is a fact. We also know that the statements which they make has to be aimed at to either assert or deny an issue of fact. Now see, a lot of things come up now. If you know fact, if you know issues of fact, if you know fact and issue, you understand the oral evidence. Similarly, evidence is also documentary. Now what is documentary? A document. Alright? Document means any substance, a matter expressed on any substance by way of letters, figures, or words. Now there's an amendment which brings it. The recordings are also called document. We'll discuss that later. So these basic concepts, there are a few more, would help you understand the rest of the Evidence Act easily. So that's enough for now, I guess. Check out. Read the Bare Act. That will be easier to understand. Don't go the bookish way. That is when you argue in the court, you may have to read the sentences as they are. But to understand the concept, you need to break it down. You need to unbox. You need to make it as easy as possible. So that's all for today. Be with the channel. Thank you.